Chapter 9. The Morning After. Tilly woke to the soft, golden light of dawn streaming through her bedroom window. The storm had passed, leaving the air fresh and cool. She stretched languidly, her thoughts drifting to the night before, and her cheeks flushed with the memory of Tom's arms around her, the warmth of his kiss. For a moment, she allowed herself to bask in the glow of it all, but reality crept in quickly. What did it mean for them? For her? Could something so powerful have a place in the complicated, uncertain world they lived in? A knock at the door startled her from her thoughts. She sat up quickly, pulling her dressing gown around her shoulders. "Tilly?" Aunt Edith's voice was gentle but curious. "There's tea ready in the kitchen, if you're up." "Coming!" Tilly called, though her heart wasn't entirely ready to face the day. By the time she made it to the kitchen, Tom was already there, seated at the table with a steaming mug in his hands. He glanced up as she entered, his expression unreadable. "Morning," he said, his voice casual. Too casual. "Morning," she replied, matching his tone. She wasn't sure what she had expected. A declaration of undying love, perhaps, but this careful normalcy left her feeling off-kilter. Aunt Edith bustled about, oblivious to the undercurrent of tension. "Tom was kind enough to fetch water from the well," she said with a smile. "Such a good lad, always helping out." Tilly nodded, trying to ignore the fluttering in her chest as she poured herself a cup of tea. She took a seat across from Tom, and for a while the only sounds were the clink of cups and the hum of Aunt Edith's activity. Finally, Aunt Edith excused herself, leaving them alone. "About last night," Tom began, his voice low. Tilly's heart leapt into her throat. "Yes?" He leaned forward, his green eyes locking onto hers. "I meant what I said, Tilly, every word, but I need to know if you did too." Her breath caught. "You mean?" "I mean this isn't just a fling for me," he said, his voice steady despite the vulnerability in his gaze. "I care about you, more than I probably should. And if you don't feel the same, I'll walk away now. But if you do..." He trailed off, his hand resting on the table, palm up, as if offering her a choice. Tilly's chest tightened. She hadn't expected this. His honesty, his willingness to lay everything bare. Slowly, she reached out, placing her hand in his. "I don't know what the future holds," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I know I don't want to face it without you." His fingers closed around hers, strong and warm, and a small relieved smile broke across his face. "Well then," he said softly, "we'll figure it out together." For the first time in weeks, Tilly felt like the ground beneath her was steady. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew she wouldn't face them alone.